Kevin Sullivan, the iconic former WWE wrestler who captivated audiences as both the Prince of Darkness and the Taskmaster, has passed away at the age of 74. Sullivan's death marks the end of an era in professional wrestling, where he was celebrated not only for his in-ring prowess but also for his innovative approach to storytelling and character development. His influence on the wrestling world is undeniable, with his bouts against legends like Hulk Hogan and Dusty Rhodes, and his leadership of the infamous Army of Darkness, cementing his legacy as one of the most unique and influential figures in sports entertainment history. The announcement of Sullivan's passing was made by WWE, which released a statement honoring his contributions to the industry. The statement read, "Kevin Sullivan was a unique and influential figure in sports entertainment history. He found success both in the ring and behind the scenes with his penchant for far-out ideas that pushed creative boundaries." This acknowledgment from WWE underscores the impact Sullivan had on wrestling, not just as a performer, but also as a creative force who shaped the narratives and characters that fans came to love and fear. Paul Levesque, better known to wrestling fans as Triple H, was among the many who took to social media to pay tribute to Sullivan. On X, formerly Twitter, Levesque wrote, "Kevin Sullivan had one of the most unique minds in the history of our industry, pushing creative boundaries and developing some of the most intriguing characters to step into the ring. He had an unwavering passion for what we do. My thoughts are with his family, friends, and fans." Levesque's words highlight Sullivan's reputation as a visionary in the wrestling world, someone who constantly sought to innovate and push the limits of what was possible in the ring. Kevin Francis Sullivan was born on October 26, 1949, in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Growing up in the Boston area, Sullivan developed an early interest in wrestling, which would go on to define his life. He began his wrestling career as an amateur in Boston, where he honed his skills and built a reputation for himself as a tough and determined competitor. His passion for wrestling eventually led him to the professional circuit, where he made his debut in Montreal in the early 1970s. In the beginning, Sullivan wrestled under the names Johnny West and the Boston Battler, personas that reflected his roots and his fighting spirit. However, it wasn't until he rebranded himself as the Prince of Darkness in the early 1980s that he truly began to make his mark on the wrestling world. Inspired by the heavy metal music of bands like Black Sabbath and Judas Priest, Sullivan crafted a character that was dark, mysterious, and menacing. His new persona drew heavily on occult and cultish imagery, a deliberate choice that played into the era's widespread fears of satanic influence, known as the Satanic Panic.